Well, hey, everybody. I know that option selling can be a really good way to earn income from the stock market, but it can also be very risky if you don't know what you're doing. I'm going to share 5 simple tips for beginners to look at selling options. If you stay with me to the end, I'm going to share a bonus tip that's going to help you make some profits today. The first thing you should do is monitor the market. You want to keep an eye on market news because what's happening in the market can really have a pretty big impact on your stocks. Like if you're trading a particular stock and you know they're getting ready to have earnings, or they have some good news or bad news, maybe something is happening in that stock that's coming out, that is potentially going to affect the stock that you're selling options on. You always want to be informed about what's going on with the stocks that you're trading. Tip number 2, you need to know your own risk tolerance. Selling options can be risky, so it's important to know how much you are willing to take on as far as risk goes. Some people are risk averse, where they can say, well, I trading this 200, 300, 5,000, whatever amount of money. They can say that they're willing to trade that much money and they're willing to risk it all, or YOLO it as far as some people could think. But other people aren't so risk averse. They'd rather not lose their money. And I know people don't ever want to lose. Nobody wants to lose their money, but just know the stock market, you're going to lose some money, but you do want to minimize how much you lose. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But you need to know, what is the risk tolerance for you? How much money are you okay with losing? What is your money mindset? How do you view money coming and going? These are things that you need to know about yourself. You need to take an introspective look at yourself to see, how do you view money? How do you view the loss of money? How do you view the capturing or receiving of money? This is important to know as you pick your strategy for selling options. That leads right into tip number 3. You need to pick a strategy. You're going to sell options, and there are several strategies, 3 or 4 maybe, strategies that you can use when you're an option seller. You've got covered calls, cash secure puts, credit spreads. You can use any of those. You can also use shorting if you choose. That's a selling strategy as well. As a beginner, though, I would suggest that you stick with selling cash secure puts and or covered calls. The mix really is called the wheel. I would suggest that you lean into the wheel. And that is because those strategies really do offer you the opportunity to put your capital in and to get something in return. If you're interested in learning more about selling cash secure puts and selling covered calls, check the link in the description for those strategies. There's other videos on my YouTube channel. You can look at those as well. I do have a quiz that you can take to determine the best strategies that match your personality and your risk levels. I'll be sure to put that in the chat, that link in the chat as well. Now that you have a bit more of an idea about the different strategies, I would suggest that you pick a stock, or 2 or 3. You want to pick some stocks that you're going to be able to use to kind of rinse and repeat, ones you're comfortable with, that you're going to be able to use. What kind of things should you use to select those stocks? Well, here we go. You want to choose stocks with a good bit of liquidity. Liquidity basically means that they've got lots of options out there. Sometimes you have stocks that don't have much volume, and they may be harder to get in and out of as far as your trades go. But you want to pick stocks that are pretty liquid. You also want ones that don't have too high of a volatility. High volatility stocks can be tempting, believe me, because they do offer really great premiums and can give you the potential for high profits. The only problem is, as a beginner, you may not know how to manage those. They do have higher risk. That higher volatility means higher risk, and they may be more for you to manage as a beginner. So as you get more experience, you may decide you want to lean back into some high volatility stocks, but I'd kind of stay away from them as a beginner. You want to choose the right strike prices for these strategies and for these stocks that you're trading. As a seller, you don't want price to come and be at your strike price at expiration. So you really want to pick strikes that are going to be out of the money at expiration. Now, out of the money, if you're a beginner, out of the money means the price is not there. That's really what that means. You don't want price to be at your strike or near your strike, or it can be near. You don't want price to be at your strike at expiration. That's called out of the money. And as sellers, we want things out of the money. If your strike price has been passed or has been breached at expiration, you could potentially have your trade be exercised. That's another word there, exercise. If you're selling puts and you get exercised, then the broker is going to put the shares into your account. This is no worry because then you'll just sell covered calls against them. But I just want you to know that if your strike price is breached on the covered call side or the cash secure put side, something is going to happen with those 100 shares. All right. So you want to pick good strike prices, and there's several ways to pick good strike prices. The way you're going to see those selection of strike prices is really going to depend on the strategy. So as you lean in more for cash secure puts or covered calls, those strategies are going to guide you into what is the best strike price to pick. You also want to consider your expiration dates. With selling, you can be close. Time decay is our friend, right? So you can pick expiration dates same day if you want, that same week if you want, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I personally like to stay close to the expiration, not to go out too far. Now, there's benefits to going out 4 and 6 weeks for expirations, and that is because you take in more premiums when you do that. The further out you go, you take in more premiums. But the drawback to that is that you're in the trade for a much longer period of time, and that may not be as comfortable. For me, I get a little impatient, and I'm ready for the trade to be over, and 6 weeks seems like it's way too long to wait for the trade to end. But everybody's different. This is the point I want to make. Everybody's different, right? You want to make sure that you're picking an expiration date that you're comfortable with. You want to pick one that's going to give you the premiums you're looking for. Don't forget to count for your fees. And you want it to be in a safe enough place that you believe this price or this strike is going to be out of the money at expiration. Okay, so I've told you, you need to monitor the markets. You need to know your own risk tolerance. You need to pick a strategy, and you need to pick the stocks that you like. Lastly, you need to use stop loss orders. This means that you want to limit your losses in case the market or the stock doesn't do what you want it to do. If you have a desire that it's going to go up, but it starts to go down and it gets into your strike price, you want to have a stop loss order intact. It's a good idea to use them when you're selling options. Not always so easy, but it's good to do, okay? You need to select a stop loss that you're okay with. So some people, for example, say, if I receive $20 in premiums for my selling trade, I'm going to have a stop loss of 2x or 3x, which says I received $20 for this trade. I'm willing to let it go to where it's worth 40 or it's worth 60 at the most. That's a 2x is 40 and 3x is 60. When we're sellers, we want the prices to go down. We want to sell high and buy low. So when the prices or the premiums start to go up, that's going in the opposite direction from what we want. But you also want to check to make sure that your trade isn't still good, because sometimes the price is very close to your strike price, but your trade is still good, right? It's not, your trade hasn't gone bad. The price is just very close to your strike price. That's when you take a good look and you see, are you comfortable here? Would you rather turn it off and get a different strike price? But you want to have some type of stop loss plan in place for just in case the trades don't go your way. So I told you, if you stuck with me to the end, I'd give you a strategy so you can make some money today. And that is to use a screener. There is one I really like. It's called Bar Chart. I'll put the link for it down in the description. But you can go to Bar Chart and see a list of the analyst suggested stocks. They give you the strike price you should select, and they tell you how much money you're going to make in premiums. Go pick something off of that list that really suits your own personality and your own risk tolerance, and enter that trade today. You will make your premiums today, because when you're a seller, they give you the money immediately upon entering the trade. Okay, I've shared with you 5 simple tips and even a bonus tip that you can use when you're a beginning option seller. You need to remember that option selling can be complex, and it also can be a little risky. I am a fan, though. You already know that I am one who coaches option sellers, right? So there's several different courses of mine that you can look into. I have a course for all of the strategies, or you have the option seller bundle there. You can go to my website, educatortotrader.com, SPXHacks.com, and you can see what's there and see what interests you, right? Please, if you're here watching our content, like and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit the notification bell and watch around, see all the stuff that we got. We got all kind of good stuff on this channel, all right? Follow me on social media and be sure to leave me a comment, all right? Thanks. In this community, we do two things. We stay green and we get this money. All right, bye.